Here's how we would normally play this as a tenor player. I've deliberately left off the scoops because this is going to be about Altissimo, but at the end I'll show you some little scoopy things that you can do. Okay, here's how we should be playing this. Okay, so you got yourself a tenor saxophone and you're playing Sir Duke in the original key, and you get to that horn break and you realize that your line makes no sense because the octaves keep jumping around. So the only way to really play it and have it make sense is to learn the little Altissimo bit. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't always do that. I generally only do it if I don't have like a trumpet or an alto sax above me. And even still, if I'm playing this with an alto, we're more than likely going to be in unison, and just having that unison randomly split into octaves may sound a little strange. But if I'm playing this with a trumpet, I'm probably just going to switch octaves and probably just stay in octaves as much as I can with the trumpet anyway, to just really fatten it up. First thing I want to tell you guys is that it is super cold in here. And the pitch is just like way flat. I am actually doing this in the original key that Stevie did it in. This is the key that most people are going to play this in. However, when you get singers, they can wind up doing it in any key, and this probably won't even really make a whole lot of sense to do it this way if it's not in the original key. But it does pose a very interesting problem for a tenor saxophone. And I just recently released, I have my Altissimo book for tenor saxophone available now. I'm doing a whole lot to plug this book. I'll leave a link in the description of how you can pick that up. But in today's lesson, I'm going to show you how to properly play that horn break on tenor saxophone in Sir Duke. Okay, let's get to it. This is most definitely one of the easier Altissimo type riffs in songs to get through, because the fingering system lays really well. And on a side note, in terms of doing these songs in the original keys, I've always felt like Stevie Wonder's voice peaks in the same way a tenor saxophone peaks. So I generally tend to do Stevie Wonder songs on tenor saxophone. And to me, Michael Jackson, his voice peaks the same way an alto saxophone peaks. So I generally like to do Michael Jackson songs on alto, but I haven't had an alto. One is coming pretty soon. I'm going to do a whole video in Altissimo and all of that. I'm already working on the Altissimo alto book for those of you who are waiting for that one. So, okay, let me just show you where the real meat and potatoes of this thing is. Let's cover the two Altissimo note fingerings that we're going to use. In this case, for the Altissimo B flat, we're going to use 2, 3, and the palm D key. I call this a vented G. Vented in my terminology means first finger up and then add 0. If I just use the palm D to play Altissimo B flat, that note tends to ride up sharp. Ideally, I would want to use the palm D and the C key, but still it's pushing up too sharp, so I add 2 and 3 with this. This puts me in a really nice position to get to the front F. Boom. And then from the front F, this puts me in a really nice position to get to Altissimo A flat. For Altissimo A flat, I go back to 2 and 3, and I add the 6 key. You don't really need the 6 key. However, just using 2 and 3, again, that note can wind up being a little too sharp. So we wind up with this. Let's do that one more time. That puts me in a really nice position to get back to the E flat and play that pentatonic lick. Let's look at it from this angle. You'll get a chance to see my right hand. Piece of cake, man. Okay, so the B flat is the only altissimo note that actually has a scoop on it. So it's really easy to scoop into that B flat. So if you're using 2 and 3, this is going to give you a very out of tune altissimo A. I usually have the G sharp key there. You can do this with or without the G sharp key, but if you just start with 2, 3 playing A and then just scoop into 0, the palm D key, it gives you a nice little scoop into that altissimo B flat. I would come from the front E into the front F. Okay, one last thing. At the very end, I've written turns in the notation. Sometimes you might actually find the actual music notated, the notes notated out. In this case, because the melody is so pentatonic, I'm going to turn around the notes of the pentatonic scale. This is not a beginner lesson on how to play the lick. This is... what the hell is it? Yesterday I woke up sucking a lemon. Everything in its right place. All right, that's all I got for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff like this, all the stuff that I can find, especially stuff that I've been playing like this for years, and I haven't really thought, oh, maybe I should do some YouTube videos on stuff like this. All right, so thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for you. See ya!